Hey, hey, hey! Good to see you guys. Glad y'all are back with me. Glad you came to get some help on this problem. This is a very challenging problem. There is no doubt about it. What we've got here is a subtraction of mixed numbers that's got a little bit of a wrinkle in it. As we get into it, we'll see that. Let's start off by doing an estimate right here, though, and just take a quick look at what an estimate would be like. The 17 3/8 actually is roughly, if we work that out in exactly as a decimal, 3 divided by 8 is 17.375, which is roughly then 17. So 17 3/8 we see rounds off to 17. 12 7/10 is actually 12.7. 7 divided by 10 on your calculator gives you 0.7. Now that rounds off. What do you think it rounds off to? Good, 13. And so 17 minus 13 is 4. So our estimated answer is approximately 4. All right? We got the wavy equal there. That means it's kind of close, but it's not exactly it. That's called approximately 4. So 17 3/8 minus 12 7/10 is roughly, approximately, round about 4. Now, let's go from there into the exact work. And before we do, I want to show you one other skill that is going to take a minute to get clear. It's going to come into play in this problem. And that is how to borrow with a fraction or with a mixed number. In this problem, we're actually going to need to borrow, okay, to build up the fraction in the problem to make this work. So let's kind of sidebar here for a minute. Let's suppose I had a fraction of 7 and, I don't know, let's go 7 8/15. Okay, 7 8/15. Now, let's suppose for some reason I needed to build up this fraction. I needed to make this fraction bigger. Okay, if I wanted to make that fraction bigger, what I would do is I would borrow 1 off that 7 and drop it to a 6. Drop it to a 6. Now, the 1 I borrowed, I want to build into the fraction. I borrowed 1, I need to build it into this fraction. Now, realize I can't just stick a 1 here. Okay, the 1 I borrowed, that I borrowed off of there is a 1, and actually, if we want to write it as 15ths, it's 15 over 15. Okay, that's 1. Any number over itself is 1. So we've got this 1 we borrowed off the 7 to make it a 6, and it became 15 over 15. Now when we take it and build it into this, put it with this, we actually end up with 15 plus 8 is 23 over 15. So 7 8/15, if I need to, I could rewrite it very quickly as 6 23/15 if I needed the fraction piece of it to build up. Now, let me show you a quick shortcut with that. That'll be very helpful to you, I think. So we had, let's say we've got 7 3/8, and I want to build up, and I think I changed it here, but that's okay. You'll see how this works. I want to build up the 3/8 to something bigger, all right? I want to build it up to something bigger. I'll borrow off the 7, dropping it to a 6. I will add the numerator and denominator of the fraction together. That will become my new numerator in my fraction. And so I build it up, and this is just a little shortcut, by dropping 1 off the 7, making it a 6, add these together, I got my new fraction. So that's a nice little shortcut there. That's going to come into play in the problem we're about to do. So let's take a look and see how that happens. So we're going to subtract 17 3/8 minus 12 7/10. Now to do that subtraction, of course you know I love column form. To do that subtraction, I set it up in column form, and I'm going to need a common denominator. Common denominator for 8 and 10, common LCD for 8 and 10, I'm going to go ahead and say And I'll put in my 17, I'll put in my 12 here. Common denominator, I'm going to go ahead and say is, what do you think it is? How about 40? There you go, 40. We're going to put a 40 right there for our common LCD, least common denominator. Now, 8 times 5 is 40, 3 times 5 is 15, 10 times 4 is 40, 7 times 4 is 28. Okay, now notice, we are subtracting. We are subtracting. So we've got 17 and 15 40ths minus 12 and 28 40ths. We've got a problem. Do you see it? It's very difficult. In fact, we can't do 15 minus 28. The 28's too big. The 28's too big. We've got to build up this fraction. We've got to build up this 15 over 40 to a larger fraction. All right, so what we're going to do is what we did just a second ago. We're going to borrow off of that 17, make it a 16. Okay, so we're going to have 16 now instead of 17. We're going to add the 15 plus the 40 using our shortcut, and that's going to get us 55. That 55 is over 40. We have just done some good work to build up the fraction, borrowing off the 17, make a 16, put these together, there's my new numerator. Now I'm in a good position to do the subtraction. So now it's very possible to subtract 55 minus 28, where it was not possible to do 15 minus 28 without getting into negative numbers. Oh, by the way, you will get into negative numbers. But later, not right now, just later. So calm down, it'll be okay. All right, so 15 minus 28, oh, no. 55, I can't talk, I know what I'm seeing here. 55 minus 28, I wonder what that is. 55 minus 28, I better go over here to the side. Okay, so 15, that's a 4, 15 minus 8 is 7. Oh, it's 27. Okay, so I'm going to get 27, 55 minus 28 is 27 over 40. And now, not 17, but 16 minus 12 is 4. And so my exact answer is 4 and 27 40. It's very close to my estimate. I'm very pleased with the answer. I hope this was helpful to you. Copy it down. Go back, do some practice on this. Use the similar exercise function and get this baby down. Practice borrowing. Ask your teacher in the classroom right now if you need some help too. They are always there to help you. All right, guys. Here we go. I'll see you next time.